Helen Clark here. You talk like this.
No, I don't. That happened to me too.
Hey, Helen. How's it going, babes?
Hello, who's that?
It's Anika Moa.
Oh, Anika Moa.
It's Moa. Jesus Christ. Hey, look, we've had one of our guests pull out. Can you fill in from last minute, please?
Who pulled out, Bubs?
Simon Barnett.
Oh, that fool with the frosted tips.
Exactly. Now, can you meet me at Te Henga?
Well, I was meant to be having morning tea with Phil Goff, but he does drone on a bit.
Don't be late. We'll get to your mistakes later on. Come on, Helen. So you can show me what this tramping thing is.
Have you been practicing?
No? I don't even walk anymore. I just get people to carry me because I'm so famous now.
Yes.
You wouldn't know you've been
In
away
a
from
litter?
the country. In a litter?
Yeah.
And what am I, a dog? What do you love most about walking?
Freedom.
Yes, that's true. No press.
No press.
No cameras?
No cameras.
You lead the way because you're the expert. Wait up. Is it normal to feel tired and puffy by now?
Not this early.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Lovely little track.
Want to make me a sandwich?
I love sandwiches too.
Oh, why? Salt and pepper?
No. That's well done.
Auntie Helen has spoken. Helen, I've been perfecting my Helen, and we're going to test it on Jacinda Ardern. I'm going to ring her.
Kia ora, this is Jacinda. Sorry I've missed you. Please leave a message.
Hi, Cindy. It's Helen Clark here. Look, keep smiling, and I know a good midwife if you need it. Try not to ruin the country. Okay, bye there.
I don't think you'll fool her.
I think I will. I'm pretty sure I will, Helen. Thanks for agreeing to talk to me despite your better judgment. Actually, what happened to your judgment, sister? You would never have made a rookie mistake like this back in the day.
I probably would have, actually.
Would you have?
Yes.
We'll get to your mistakes later on. So, if I were you, an ex-PM, ex-UN, subject of a movie, living legend, I'd kind of been slacking off a bit now, like get on the PlayStation, at St Luke's Mall, buying things from Cotton On. But you're not, you can't stop. What are you doing at the moment?
Now I pick and choose what I want to do and when I want to do it, and I've got a long bucket list of things I always wanted to do.
What's on your bucket list?
Maybe walking the Camino de Compostela from France to
I wanna
Spain
do
at some
that.
point, so that
that
could be
starts.
a good movie.
Now, I've done extensive research, but I want you to verify these bullet points for any fake news, okay?
Yep.
Okay, known widely as Auntie Helen.
This is true.
Helen has been named the world's third most powerful woman influencer.
Well, there's social media rankings, and they look at reach and impact, so I usually do quite well on that.
Once rode about on a red Honda 50 scooter.
Correct.
And where is that now?
I gave it to Motat.
Is a ruthless control freak.
Never.
After a nuclear holocaust, the only things left on the planet would be cockroaches and Helen Clark. Who said that?
I think Judith Tizard.
What's her problem?
I think it was a tribute to my resilience.
So let's get rid of the elephant in the room. Let's clear this up once and for all. It's a question on everyone's mind. How much of a fan of my music are you on a scale of Paula Bennett doing karaoke to, say, Joni Mitchell singing to you in a private show?
Haven't listened to you for a while. No, my big thing is opera. That's why I loved being in New York for 8 years. The opera was absolutely phenomenal.
Phantom of the Opera is my favourite too. Do you like Phantom of the Opera? Is that like kiddie pop?
A bit kiddie pop. Compare with La Traviata or something.
Was the night when you first became PM the best night of your life, and how much do you remember of it?
It was a highlight because we'd been out of government for 9 years. So I do remember a pretty ecstatic welcome at my headquarters, which was normally at the Avondale Racecourse. So yeah, big high point.
Did you imagine that night when you were a little girl? Like, were you think when you're little, oh, I'm going to be a Prime Minister of New Zealand?
No, we had no role models for that. Maybe little girls now can think, oh, I'd like to do what Helen did or Jacinda did or Jenny did, but no, we had no role model.
So it wasn't even conceivable back then?
Not conceivable.
Well, what were your dreams then? What would you have thought about when you were a little girl?
To be a teacher like my mother.
What was tougher on you, the 2008 election campaign when you lost out to John Key, or missing out on the UN Secretary-General job?
Neither were unexpected. This was likely to happen, so you'd better be able to deal with it. Otherwise, you shouldn't even be in the contest.
But didn't you feel a little bit bummed out?
I think at the end of it, you felt tired because you put a lot of effort into doing your best. But hey, those are the breaks. Shut the door on it and get on.
But haven't you dodged a bullet, though? Because imagine being UN Secretary-General, like, in the age of Trump.
You know, some organisations have lost all their funding. There's the UN Population Fund, which does incredible work around the world, and they lost all their US funding.
Because of Donald Trump?
Yes.
Ugh. Your reign as PM is thought of very fondly by Kiwis, especially me. Things like KiwiSaver, Kiwi Bank, legalising prostitution, civil unions, super fun, staying out of the Iraq war, the list goes on. What's your favourite legacy?
Probably paid parental leave as of right for every parent, because without that, it's difficult for women to combine career and family. And hasn't our country moved on to the point where the PM can say, I'm having a baby and I'll take a little maternity leave?
Yeah, she's
and,
pretty as.
You know, that's the way it is. That's what many women will do.
So you and Peter have been married for nearly 40 years.
This is true.
How do you do it? Because I've been married for a year and it's like being chained to a fence. Give me some advice.
Okay, well, a lot of those years I was away a lot of the week, so that might help.
Oh, okay. So never ever be home, sure.
Never be home. And then for 8 years I went to New York for...
Going to New York?
so try that.
So you're never together. That's how it works.
Well, you choose the times.
I read that as a feminist you weren't keen on marriage, but got hounded into it by the party, so you weren't living in sin. Does Jacinda make you jealous because she's living in sin and no one cares?
Things have moved on so much since 1981. In 1981, yes, Peter and I have been living together for several years. And Jim Anderton, who was the Labour Party president, felt that, you know, perhaps it could be a liability. So eventually, with some reluctance, we formalised the relationship in the Auckland registry office. But fast forward now, here's Jacinda, 37. She's not married. She's having a baby. Who cares? That's great. Country's moved on.
Now, do you think if you were running for PM now rather than back then, would you think differently about having kids?
Probably not, actually, because I always had a lot of things I wanted to do with my life which didn't really include children in the life plan, so I probably wouldn't have changed that.
Believe me, I've got 3 kids and I sometimes wish I could turn back time if I could. So women leaders get a lot of shit about sexuality in a way that men don't. Hillary Clinton, Julia Gillard and you, all 3 of you were accused of being lesbians. What's that all about?
It's about strong women.
I get accused of it all the time, by the way. So,
sure,
yeah.
and it upsets some men that you are strong. It's almost a coping mechanism.
What did you think watching Hillary and Trump during that election, and how did you feel on that election night?
I felt, well, very, very sorry for Hillary Clinton, who I think deserved a better result. As I see it, Hillary had been under severe personal attack ever since she'd been the First Lady of Arkansas.
Yeah, okay.
So for decades she'd been under attack, and that does some cumulative damage.
I'd like to know your thoughts on the #MeToo movement. Is this a turning point, or has wise old Helen seen all this before?
No, it's a turning point. And I'm so full of admiration for the women who've spoken out, because they've put up with so much and they're not going to put up with it anymore. And it's now emboldening women around the world to say, hey, that happened to me too, and I'm not going to put up with it. I'm going to expose this behaviour.
Was it hard watching yourself in Gayleen Preston's film My Year with Helen, which is a great film, by the way? There's an amazing scene in your movie where you make frozen dinners for your dad.
Yes, Dad's the best supporting actor in the film.
Helen rings every night, no matter where she is in the world. Most fabulous for me, Helen cooks me up these chili con carnes, beef and beer stews, lamb and curry, and pork and pineapple.
So by the time I leave to go back to New York, I will have the equivalent of about 90 meals for Dad, all properly frozen.
These are all the empty containers waiting to get filled up.
You're a kind daughter.
Try to be.
Okay, quick fire questions. No dithering, faffing about or giving me the Helen Clark stink eye, okay? And answer quickly. And sit up straight, please.
So straight.
Sit up straight. Good girl. Okay, astronomy or astrology?
Astronomy.
What star sign are you?
Pisces.
Yes, Queen. What's the trait you most deplore in yourself?
Staying up late at night.
Do you watch Netflix?
No.
Do you watch any TV?
Only BBC World.
Whew, you are brainy. Rodeos, yay or no?
Yay.
A buttery Chardonnay or a peppery Syrah?
Peppery Syrah.
Same. Can you hum the theme tune to Coronation Street?
No.
What about Shortland Street?
The only bit I ever watched was the excerpt I was in when Marge came to Parliament.
Have you ever owned Crocs or a onesie?
Crocs, I do have a pair of Crocs.
Ooh. Have you ever eaten crocodile, kangaroo or horse meat?
No. And believe me, horse meat has been put on the table in front of me in Kazakhstan.
If native peoples want to eat whale, is that cool with you?
The issue is not that. The issue is commercial whaling, which endangers species.
So you've eaten whale?
Never.
Because you have a love of opera. I do the only opera I know. The Phantom of the Opera is there inside my mind. Christine! You be Christine and I'll be Raoul, okay? Christine, sing for me!
Raoul.
Turn for me to glance behind. The Phantom of the Opera is there. Say it. Inside my
mind. Well, you won't make the Queen of the Night.
Well, how would you do it? You do it. Wait, we'll ring her, okay?
Kia ora, this is Jacinda. Sorry I've missed you. Please leave a message.
Hi, Jacinda. Keep smiling. There's a lot of good Kiwi midwives out there.
Why are you putting on an accent?
I'm not.
You talk like this.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Can I put my arm around you or
Yes,
can I touch you? Or...
yes.
And up and smize. Can you do model face? Model face now.
What's that?
Like that.
There you go.
Wait, one with me, just me.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.